But as I just said, take each section, pick one of the two compounds, add in, go to the next section, pick one of the two compounds, put in, and the third, either microneedling or dermal rolling, put in. That way you have a great hair loss protocol to reduce hair loss or even reverse it. I don't know how well. What is up, guys? Today we are gonna do some basic stuff on the channel. We will go over 3 steps you can take on how to maybe reverse or at least stop or even just reduce some of the hair loss that some of you might suffer if you suffer from androgen alopecia. So if you're not new to my channel, I have been posting a lot of different methods that you can use to stop or reverse or halt your hair loss, whatever you call it. And today we are gonna take 3 steps on what I think that you should use as your basic hair loss prevention. So the first one is get your androgen ratio or androgen activation under control. This is if you're natty and not doing any kind of supplements that is illegal or are on TRT or anything else. This is mainly due to DHT. So DHT is made from testosterone and it is highly androgenic compared to testosterone. There are more or less 2 ways that you can prevent this from going into your bloodstream and more or less making you lose your hair from androgen alopecia. The first solution you have is the most common and the only FDA approved solution we have at this date on worldwide scale. This is using finasteride or either dutasteride. Now these are what's called an 5-alpha reductase inhibitor, and what they do is that they actually block the enzyme that is making the DHT. So this is one of the oldest and most well documented and studied prescription meds that is out there for hair loss. Now another way you can go is instead of taking something that you're gonna eat, because one of the problems with the finasteride is that you eat a pill and it's going to reduce DHT in your whole body. And there is a reason why we are producing DHT in the first place. So another way some of those guys are going around this is by using a topical anti-androgen. Now this can be CB0301 or what's very popular at this point is RU58841. Now what these compounds do is that you apply them topically to your scalp and they will block the DHT or whatever you might have in your bloodstream that is androgenic from doing its thing, but only in the scalp area. Which means that your hormone can do its job in the rest of the body and you'll just block it from doing its job, which is making you lose your hair on the scalp. And thus you have reduced potential side effects. Now these are the 2 first solutions that I would give a go. I would pick either one of them to have as the first step, and this is the most important step that is to take if you're having some kind of androgen alopecia, aka hair loss. So the second step that I think is super important is to stimulate your hair to stay in the anagen phase instead of going to the telogen phase. To sum it up short, when the hair is in the anagen phase, it's gonna grow and get thicker, and at some point it will move to the telogen phase, and this is where it stops growing. As we get older, the anagen phase gets shorter and the telogen phase gets longer, and at some point it will just stop growing completely. Now to increase the anagen phase, we have 2 medications also that I have shown on my channel that I like both of them for each their purpose. The first of them is the Minoxidil. Minoxidil is a super old compound. It is even older than I am. And it has some side effects like swelling and stuff, and you use it topically just like the RU58841, and it will increase the anagen phase of the hair and reduce the telogen phase. Now one of the reasons you might use Minoxidil is that if you buy RU58841, you can actually just put the powder into the Minoxidil and thus use it in a way simpler way. The other solution you have is using Redensyl. Now I just made a video on Redensyl the other day, and Redensyl has shown to have even greater impact than Minoxidil, and it doesn't come with any sides. So a problem with minoxidil is that once you start using it, if you quit using it, you will start to lose hair very fast, a shedding period as they call it. And if you use Redensyl, there's no shedding period or anything like that. Also, minoxidil is a medication. Redensyl is actually only a plant extract. So a plant extract has proven to do better than the medical, less side effects, and there's absolutely no bounce back if you quit it at some point. So these are the two options for the second step. I would choose either one of them. Currently I am using Redensyl myself from now on, but either of them are just as fine as the other for each of their purpose. And the last step, the third step, and a super important step, is manual activation. What I mean by this is that there is such evidence that if you do something called microneedling on your scalp, you can actually increase your hair density so fast. And not only will it increase the hair density, but it will increase the effectiveness of both your either RU58841 or finasteride, whichever you choose, or the minoxidil, or either the Redensyl. So if you take one of the other two, combine them, and then you combine it with some kind of microneedling or derma rolling, I would suggest microneedling, you would get a 2 + 2 = 6 results in the end. So basically, as I just said, you can either go with the microneedling, it's a little more expensive, but it's a one-time payment, or you can use the derma roller. If you want to know more about how to microneedle, I have a video that's up there somewhere where you can learn more about that. So guys, basically this is the 3 steps that I would suggest to take. In these categories, I've given you 2 options for every category, and I would take one of the options and combine. You can just combine them whichever way you would like to. If you want to know more, there's a ton of videos on each compound in here. But as I just said, take each section, pick one of the 2 compounds, add in, go to the next section, pick one of the 2 compounds, put in, and the third, either microneedling or derma rolling, put in. That way you have a great hair loss protocol to reduce hair loss or even reverse it. I don't know how well it's going to work out for you, depends on each person. And with that said guys, that's all I have for you. Hope you stay safe. Cheers.